FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
Play and survival. It's essential. Now, with the natural selection, it's use it or lose it. Now, evolution doesn't work this quickly, but it illustrates the point that play has shown, it's popped up throughout evolutionary history in very diverse species at different times. So we see it in things like Komodo dragons, dolphins, octopi, mountain goats. These are very different species, and they've come up at different times. But what it's done is it's shown that it's an extremely powerful mechanism, and we'll get into the benefits of what it does later. But what it boils down to is that it's proven, we don't know what it does quite yet, but it's shown that through nature, it's popped up and shown that it serves a purpose. Because if you look at, again, we talked about natural selection at the beginning, play for animals is inherently risky behavior. If you're playing, you're not looking for food, you're not evading predation. You're playing, you're following all those characteristics, you kind of get lost in the sense of it, so you're not looking around. So if something that risky has stayed around for this long in this many different species, it means something. Now, we've gotten to the stage in neuroscience where we can actually start to pinpoint how play works in the brain. And to do this, the researchers took rats, removed the frontal cortex, and the frontal cortex is where all of our higher cognition abilities come from. So problem solving, decision making, language, no language in the rats, but this higher order processing, so the fancy stuff. If you take that away, what you're left is the ancient brain. You've got the brain stem. So what they did is they took the cortex off and said, will these rats still play? And sure enough, they did. Now this was thrilling in the world of play science because it showed that play sat alongside the other survival drives like eating, sleeping, breathing. It's right there. So it shows it's kind of got this core primal base and is essential for survival. I like to call it the new kale. It's a superfood for what it does for us. So you've heard the acai berry kale is saying, oh, it's packed full of antioxidants, it's got vitamins, it's great for your hair, it's great for your liver. That's what play is. It really does, it's the tide that lifts all boats. And so we see the benefits across the physical, cognitive, social, and emotional spectra. So we'll start going through those. Physically, kind of self-explanatory. It shapes the brain. You really do have cognitive growth. So it creates new neural networks and it strengthens existing ones. You also start to see the development of a repertoire of behavior through play and a refinement of these. A subset of this is what a theory called the training for the unexpected. Now what these juvenile mountain goats are doing is they are intentionally putting themselves in kind of precarious situations, all in play, they're completely in control, and watching what their body does. So they'll fall a little bit or they'll tackle, and what they're doing is preparing themselves for, let's say there is a rock slide and it's not play, all of a sudden you have these kind of stabilizing muscles, you have the ability to react quickly and calmly. This is the other, we'll get into the emotional side, but what it says is they practice these things so that they're not completely freaked out when the rocks start sliding down. They have the wherewithal to kind of compose themselves, and they've got the muscle strength to react well.